character protects your talents, I guess, is the topic. So I'll hand over to Sophia now. Hi, Sophia. Good morning.
Hi, Samuel. Good morning. How are you doing?
Doing very well, thank you.
Okay. Good morning, everybody. How are you doing today? How are you feeling? Um, so without wasting much of our time, let's jump right into it. Um, Samuel, bring up the slide.
Yeah, please give me a minute. I'll bring it up shortly.
Thank you.
Come.
Okay, so would be I would be reviewing chapter 10 of the book Talent is Never Enough by John Maxwell. I don't know how many people is here today, but I want to make this session as conversational as possible. So we're typically just going to be making conversations, right? Having conversations, engaging. So um when I got the mail that I was going to be taking this today, I think the first thing I noticed was a topic. I did not know I was going to be taking this today. I just saw, okay, character protects talents. That kind of like got me. I loved the topic. Then before I found out, oh, I'm going to be doing this today. So I had to prepare for it. So guys, let's talk. When you think about character, when somebody asks you, what is character? What's the first word that comes to your head? What do you think about? Like, if you're ever going to give a response, a one-word response, what's it going to be? Samuel, let me hear you.
Thank you. So I think for me, when you say character, I think it's a mix of your values as a person, and how you discipline yourself, the things that you do and things that you wouldn't do, right? I think these things come to sort of sum up your character in a way.
Okay. Derek, what about you? What do you think when you hear
So,
character?
Sophia, I think just Aya's hand is up. I don't know if you want
Oh,
to.
just I can't see it. Oh, sorry. Just I let me hear you.
Just to add a little to what Samuel said, or rather, a boring part of what Samuel said. Yeah, so different situations, different scenarios. In the comment section, Obira said shock absorber. So it's kind of similar. Like if you're put in a certain scenario, certain place, and something happens, how do you absorb whatever happened and how do you react to it? And so yeah, that's my own understanding of character.
Okay, I love that. Love your responses. Thank you, Samuel and Josiah. So, Samuel, let's move on to the next slide.
I thought you called me.
Oh, there. Sorry. Let me
Mm.
hear you. Yeah.
Okay. So for me, character is more of the mental and moral qualities that distinct that make somebody different from the other person. Basically, how you approach people and how you kind of respond to situations and different from the way Sophia reacts and otherwise, right? So I believe that's character for me, basically.
Okay, thank you. You guys are giving wonderful responses. Um, but we'll see. We'll see if your answers are correct as we move on. So, here I have a few
Yeah.
questions that I'm going to use to test your listening skills. So if you're here and you're not listening, trust me, I'm going to call randomly, but then these questions are going to be answered at the end of this section. The first question is, what type of character does a person need to protect? What type of character does a person need to protect his or her talents? You're not answering this right now. We're going to answer this at the end of this section. So just put this at the back of your mind. Second question, what did Wangu Song do in 1999? Yeah. Third question, the process of an iceberg breaking out from a glacier is referred to as what? Fourth question, What is the alignment of values, thoughts, feelings, and actions? Fifth question, what does character communicate when a man's character refuses to die with him? And the last but not the least, the combination of talent and character gives you what? So take a moment, look at these questions because I'm going to be calling randomly for you to answer at the end of this section. So if you're here and you're not listening or you're not paying attention or probably you didn't read the book, you may not be able to, even if you didn't read the book and you're listening, you should be able to answer. So just take one moment, look at it, go through it. I'm going to be calling randomly. Oh yeah, you can take screenshots. Thank you. Okay, we'll be moving on to the next slide. Help me, Samuel. Okay, thank you. So when I started reading the book, when I started reading this chapter, I know one of the first things that the author wanted to use to describe what character is was his portrayal of this man, Wang Woo-sok. Wang Woo-sok. He's South Korean, and he was very famous in the early 2000s. So I'm going to give you a brief history of Wang Woo-sok and his rise and fall from stardom to, embarrassments and crimes and all that. So Wang Woo-sung is a South Korean. Yeah, he has like a humble beginning, a humble background. While growing up, his mother was widowed, but then he had a drive. And that drive, pushed him to fund his way through school. He worked his way as a farmer and moved on to getting a doctorate in veterinary medicine. Yeah. I mean, this is somebody who had a very humbling, poor background. And somehow he's already a doctorate in veterinary medicine. You should know what kind of drive he has. This type of person cannot be stopped. You understand? And then from there, he moved on to become a professor in Seoul National University. Nothing was stopping him. His drive was remarkable. His talent, excellent. Because, I mean, moving from having a doctorate and then becoming a professor, and then he just told himself, you know what, I want to get into scientific research. And then he started. So while undergoing scientific research, he made some remarkable inventions. He was the first person to clone a dairy cow in 1999. And then from there, in 2004, he was able to clone human embryos. I mean, these were achievements that people had never achieved. It was like, okay, this person is doing, it was like a worldwide breaking news. Oh, somebody just was able to clone human embryos. These were achievements that had never happened before, and people were very, very much interested. So he did not just become a national hero in South Korea. He became an international hero, recognized all over the world. And then in 2005, he also cloned an Afghan dog. Okay. And, while all this was going on, people were, he had that attention, he was making money, he became the president's favorite, the president of South Korea, he became his favorite. I mean, he was sitting in rooms where he would never have thought he was going to sit in. He was, given the floor to speak, make decisions in the scientific world and in the scientific community. And then he was also crowned as the supreme scientist. So these were like achievements, awards that he was getting. He got a postage stamp in his honor and then received millions of dollars in fundings. Okay. So Wang Woo-sung went from being a poor scientist in, his 30s and 40s, conquering barriers, making remarkable achievements, getting that fame. People loved him. I'm very sure that mothers would have children and decide to name them Wang Woo-sung because, I mean, he was loved, okay? He was loved, he was cherished, and he showed. And then all of a sudden, in 2006, his partner or somebody who had been collaborating with him, an American, he decided to leave. Okay, people raise eyebrows. Why are you leaving? Why are you dumping this research? You have been doing this with him. You're a part of his scientific research group or team, and then you're leaving. What's the reason? He didn't say anything. And then moving forward, somebody else decided to leave and they were like, okay, what's happening? Why are you guys leaving him all of a sudden? You have been his team right from the very beginning. You know him, you supported him through, all these remarkable achievements. Why are you leaving all of a sudden? People wanted to know. And being a famous person, it has like news questions, interviewing those people that were leaving. And one of the second person who left said, oh, I am leaving because I do not like the way he gets egg donors. I don't like the way he got his egg donors or something like that. Yeah. So okay, people are like, okay, egg donors, you don't like the way. So that's like an ethical violation. What really happened? So a panel was set up to find out, because nobody was saying anything. People were leaving, but they didn't want to come out and talk about what was really happening inside. And when that panel came up, when that panel was set and they decided to find out what was really wrong, they found a lot of things. First, violation of ethics. He violated ethics as a scientist. I mean, there are ethics that guide you as a scientist, or even in any job that you take on. There are ethics that guide your behaviors. You don't act in any way. You act in certain rules that govern how you should act, or how you should get any sort of probably egg donations, any sort of scientific research, or anything. There are ethics that guide these things. So one of the things he violated with his ethics. Yeah. And then another thing that happened that he found out that he had done was that he fabricated his same stale research. Okay, why did you fabricate it? You're a scientist, you're intelligent, you're smart, you're talented. Why are you fabricating these things? I mean, it's not like you can't do it. People were asking questions. It was raising eyebrows. And then they later found out that he actually forced a junior researcher to donate eggs. You don't force anybody to do anything when it comes to research such as this, because donating eggs has to be a personal and willing action. You don't force anybody, you don't coerce anybody to do it. So him forcing a junior researcher to donate eggs was a problem. So more research went in, more investigation went in. We wanted to know, okay, what is really happening? What else has he even done? I mean, if he can do all this, what else did he do? And then they later found out that he embezzled funds. So if you remember, he received millions of dollars in fundings, but then these fundings were for his research. It wasn't just for his personal use. He had to account for how he was, making use of these funds. So finding out that he embezzled funds, why would he do that? I mean, he had his own money, he was making money. So why are you investing funds that were supposed to be used for research? So while all this was going on, it raised global attention. And when they found out that it was true, he was arrested, he was indicted, he was stripped of all his honor and recognition, and he was sentenced to 2 years in prison. And, the first question I asked myself, if he had stem cell research, all those cloning that he did in 1999. I mean, he did one in 2000, which was true. Why was he lying? And then while reading the book, I found out that only one was true, which was cloning of an Afghan dog in 2005. That was the only thing that was true that he had done. He had never cloned a dairy cow in 1999. He never cloned a human embryo. Why did he lie? Why was he lying? Why not just come out and say the truth? I mean, even if it was only an Afghan dog that you cloned, it's something, it's an achievement. Why? Why are you lying? Why lie about all this? You have the attention, you are loved, you're supported. What is happening? Why put your career on a particular disadvantage by lying about these things? I mean, you have people around you, you have people watching you. These people are going to talk one day or the other. I mean, you don't. He embezzle fund? Why did he force junior researchers to donate eggs? Why? He came from a humble background, didn't he? I mean, he should be able to respect people's decisions. He should be able to know how to, manage money. He should be able to, I had like a few expectations of him, but I think the next slide is going to answer a few of these questions. The why. Samuel, let's move on. Thank you. So why reading the book, continuing reading the book, I found out that the reason why Wang may not have, decided to lean towards the good side of his character was because he did not have a strong character. Probably he thought he could get away with it. I mean, I'm been placed here I see myself here. Nobody can, counter my opinions. Nobody can talk about these things that I'm doing. I have the right to do it. Yeah. So why reading that book, the author went forward to describe human beings as iceberg. And I was wondering, why iceberg? I mean, you want to describe people, why use an iceberg to describe people? And it got me thinking. I went to do a few research, before even continuing the book. What is an iceberg? What's it known for? And I found out a few things about an iceberg. If you look at this image, what you're going to see, probably if you're in a boat far ahead, you're holding a telescope and you're looking, what you're going to be seeing is this surface up here above sea level. That's what you're going to be seeing. It's looking small. I mean, okay, from far it's like, okay, you can probably tell, how big it is looking ahead, but that is not the truth. Apparently, an iceberg is so big that the surface is literally just 10% of what the entire body is like. And an iceberg is a large floating mass that has been detached from a glacier. Yeah. So it was detached and it's just literally floating in the sea. You look at it, and this process is called carving. So tip of the iceberg. Yeah. So if you're looking at it, yeah, but then under the surface is where the whole thing is happening. That's like 90% of what the iceberg is. It's so big. It is so, so big, and it has sharp edges. This was the same iceberg that had unfortunately sink the Titanic ship like years back. So probably the person driving the Titanic had just seen the small surface of the iceberg, above sea level, and it's like, nothing, probably nothing. We can maneuver it, we can, drive around this area, nothing is going to happen. But they don't realize strong it is. Like it is very strong that it can tear the edge of a ship. And you know what happens when something tears the wall of a ship, water can, go in and then it can cause the ship to sink. So when the reason why the author had described people as being like an iceberg is because people, when you meet somebody for the first time, what you see about them is probably the surface. I mean, you meet a guy for the first time, or you meet somebody that joined the company for the first time, and then the first thing you're thinking is, oh, she's tall, she's dark, she's fair, I think she's smart. These are surface things that you know about people. You don't really know them. You don't really know them until you really, really get to know them, until you really see their character for who they are, until you actually see them in action. That's when you begin to understand, oh, I didn't know she was this humble. Oh, wow, she's so generous, she's so kind. Wow, these are like when you get to begin to know, okay, what your characters are like, or do you understand what I'm talking about? So the reason why the author was actually describing human beings like an iceberg, or he was describing character like an iceberg, was because in order for you to have a character, for instance, you have a character, and below that surface, below that image of you as a human being, you have to have a strong character for you to actually stand out, for you to be able to achieve things, even as a talented person. A strong character is going to keep you, it's going to drive your growth. Because if you don't, like, for instance, like Wang, I feel like if he had a strong character, he would have been able to understand that these ethics are very sciences, you don't do things because you want to do them. You do them because they are the right thing to do. So you have to have a strong character to have gone from poverty, to have gone from having nothing to having millions of dollars in your possession and not embezzle them. That can only be done by somebody who has a strong character. If you don't have a strong character, you're going to see millions of naira in your possessions and your millions of dollars in your possession, and you're like, oh, okay, you know what? I think I'm going to buy the latest Range Rover with that money because I deserve it, because I need it. But are you even thinking about the reason why that fund was given to you in the first place? Your strong character is going to make you think, okay, this was for funding. And I feel like I could use this money to fund more projects. I could use this money to support other projects that could break barriers, that could open up barriers for us, that could change people's lives. So if you're not thinking in that way, your strong character allows you to think in that way. So the reason why you're not thinking in that aspect, you're not thinking that way is because your strong character is not even strong, it's weak. Your character is not strong, it's weak. The moment your character becomes strong, the moment you realize that you have to build strong character, you begin to think in a different way. You begin to understand that certain values are needed to guide your choices in life. And it's very important that you understand that this strong character needs to be formed. You are not born with them. You have to form them. You have to be the one to think. You have to be the one to make the decision within yourself. So, as you can see here, no one can expect to succeed without strong character below the surface to protect his talents and sustain him during difficult times. Because you are going to meet difficult times, whether you like it or not. You are going to be faced with adversity. You're going to face things in life. People are going to test you. Relationship will test you. Life will test you. Your marriage will test you. So many things will test you. But then, what is your character? How strong is it? Just I yourself. How strong is it? How strong is it going to keep things going for you? If you feel like you're not going to build a character for yourself, you just have to remember that building a strong character is going to see you through so many difficult areas in your life. I have personally been faced with when I had to build a strong character. I've had to take up self-control as a person because I have met certain situations in my life where I felt like I've been pushed to an edge and I feel like I should react. But then I remember this is not who I am. This is who I am. I know who I am. And who I am is that I do not succumb to pressures from other people. I do not go down to a pedestal of, you're coming at me, you're wanting me to react, and I'm looking at you. I'm not going to come down to that level because my character allows me, my character cajoles me, my character enforces that I do things differently. Okay? So just put that in your mind. Character holds us steady no matter how rough the storm becomes. So remember that, remember your strong character. Let's move on. Thank you. Okay, I think the next thing that comes to your mind is what makes up a strong character. And this is in sync with components of character in that chapter, okay? So what makes up a strong character? The first thing was self-discipline. What is self-discipline? Self-discipline is the ability to do what is right, even when you don't feel like doing it. You know, I'm sure like you wake up in the morning and you're like, oh my God, I have to do this. I have to do this because it affects this other person. Probably you have to create something. You have to like write a report, and you know that report is going to help the other organization, our clients get their numbers for the month so that they can move forward with whatever they're doing over there. And then you're like, oh, you have to push yourself. You have to stand up from your bed. That's self-discipline. You have to like conquer yourself. You have to conquer that laziness and tell yourself, oh, I'm standing up from this bed. I'm doing it because it is mandatory. It is necessary for me. I'm being paid to do it. I'm being trusted to do it right. So your self-discipline is pushing you from your bed and telling you, you need to stand up. You need to get things done because you have things to do. Okay. You're not going to sit in your bed all day and just say, oh, I'm tired. So that self-discipline is actually what drives us every single day, every single action that you're making in your life, every single and our character is usually built by self-discipline. Okay, that's just one of the very key components of character, self-discipline. You can't even do things. You have to actions actually be able to do things necessary. Self-discipline is needed for anything to move forward in your life. If you want to achieve anything, if you want to move forward in your career, you have to learn self-discipline. You have to understand that you have to do things the way you have to do things in some certain ways to get what you need to get. Okay. So let's say for instance, you have to take a course, and that course, you need to take that course in 4 weeks to be able to get a particular certificate that is going to help you move forward in your career. What are you going to do? Are you going to tell yourself, oh, I'm tired? You know what, I have have other things to do and I'm not going to do that. No, you don't do that. You have to, understand that every single day that you decide to get up from your bed and decide to do things, you are learning self-discipline unintentionally, but you're learning it, and this builds strong character. Over time, you're going to find out that in years to come, you find yourself doing things or taking action because you have built self-discipline. You understand the importance. Self-discipline has given you results that you never thought you would have gained. Do you understand? It gives great results. So I would really highly recommend self-discipline. First step to strong character and best victory is to conquer yourself. Conquer yourself, conquer your setback, conquer your laziness, conquer your bad attitude, conquer everything. That's the best way to move forward. Okay. Second is core values. So the first thing that came to my mind when I thought about core values are like a lot. I mean, these are like the principles we live by every day. I'm sure like there's some of you here that you can never be caught coming to any place late. For instance, if they say 8 a.m., you are there by 7:30. If they say 7:30, you're there by 7 o'clock. You have built punctuality is one of the core values that you live by, and you've continued to do that probably from a very young age. Your mom always made sure that you were ready for school, and you grew up to like live with that. In university, you just made sure that you're always punctual. This is a core value that you probably decided to live by in your life. Continue to take it on because it has done great things for you. You're never caught late in anything. You are always early, and that's actually a very good core value, if you ask me. That's just like an example. But that's probably like a principle that you live by every day. And they define what we believe. They define what we believe. They define how we live. Core value gives you order, gives you structure as a human being. And for instance, you being a punctual person, you're like, okay, being a punctual person has given you structure. You're just never confused. You are always right because you are right on time. You know what's happening. You know how things are to be done. You're probably very attentive. You have a great listening skill. And because of that, you've been able to put your life in order. You have a schedule and you always meet that schedule. So core values really help us. They're like a lot. I'm not going to go into details how many, but I don't know. Is there anybody that wants to tell me more? Are there like more values that you think people should live by? Like some core values that you think are very important for us as human beings that can build character? Who wants to say something? I want to hear more core values from you. Anybody?
Just now your hand is up. All everybody's hand is up. Who do you want to call first?
Just Ayo, let me hear.
Hello. Yeah, so I think an important core value for humans should be empathy
Okay,
as well.
lovely.
I
Yeah,
believe I already know, so I won't explain what empathy is. Bye.
yeah. Yeah, I like that. Who else was raising up his hand?
Lauren Roger. Just
Okay, nice.
Hi, good morning. So
Let
yeah,
me hear you.
I was going to say integrity, which Uri I just put in the chat. I mean,
Okay.
it makes you less intelligent now. But yeah, anything was what I was going to say as a core value. I'm sure everybody knows what it means. So yeah.
Yes, you're right. Thank you very much, Nari. Okay, you're all right. Empathy, integrity, punctuality, excellence, every single one that you can think about. If you decide that, okay, these core values will live by me. There are some people that you see them and then you just know that they have a certain core values that they live by because they've been able to maintain it over the years. Probably your mom. Your mom has this value where probably she makes sure that she always does something for the needy every single year. At the end of the year, she always brings out something that's generosity, and she has continued to live that over. That's equal value. Do you understand? So, healthy self-esteem. Yes, that's actually a very good core value like that. Thank you for your examples. Let's move on, Samuel. Okay, there are two more. It's the third one is a sense of identity. So one of the ways to actually build core values is to know who you are. Who are you? I'm sure you've noticed, or you may have had certain areas where people are arguing and people are fighting, and the next thing is like, who are you? Who do you think you are? Who are you? What can you do? Other things, I'm sure probably those people are just asking that questions. They want to know who they are. Probably, oh, I'm the CEO of this. I have gained this and that and that and that and that. But nah, those are just surface things about you. But there are things that define who we are as human beings, and that's our sense of identity. If you are a person and you know yourself as somebody that is probably never confrontational, there is no way, there is no place you find yourself, and and people are fighting. Somebody is coming at you and insulting you, and you just know that I am not the type of person to fight with people. You just know that to fight is not your thing. It's never your thing. And no matter where you find yourself, no matter the kind of situations you find yourself, people can never ever find you fighting. Do you understand? Like, there are some people that are like that. Like, you can never ever find them fight, no matter what it is that is going on, no matter what kind of insults, no matter what kind of situations they find themselves, you can never ever find them get physical with anybody. That's because that's who they are. They probably have understood that this is who I am and this is how I identify myself. And then I place my personal values on this. That fighting of any sort, physical assault of any sort, is not my thing. It's not something that I can ever succumb to. So if you are trying to probably piss them off, get them riled up, you are just wasting your time, because who they are is people that would never succumb to things like that. They would never find them getting physical with anybody. So understanding what your sense of identity is will actually help you build a strong character. Yeah. And you have to actually be very self-aware to be able to do this. Self-awareness is, you know who you are, you know what you can do, you know what lengths you can go, you know your limitation, you know your delimitations, you know what can help you grow, you know, like, you just know who you are. You are very self-aware of yourself. And because of that self-awareness, you don't allow things to deter you. Things don't get you riled up. It's very easy for you to even practice good anger management. Like, nothing can really change things for you because you know who you are. It just keeps you going. It really keeps you thriving in life. Trust me. If you know where you're coming from, you know who you are, you know what you can do, you know what you can't do. It just really helps you as a person. So sense of identity is like really great. It is fundamental for the identification of core values. Plus, it builds emotional security. And that's just what I was just talking about, emotional security. Understanding what your core values are will make you understand that, okay, I get to do this, I don't get to do this because it doesn't benefit me in any way. Nothing of sort can change how you feel. You've built emotional security. You've understood that, okay, my core values are actually protecting me because I know who I am. I know what is expected of me. I know what I should do to build my strong character. It just keeps you on track, okay? It keeps you on track. And I really recommend each and every one of us understanding a sense of identity, like knowing who you are, having a sense of awareness, like you're aware in every situation in your life, like every situation you find yourself in. If people call you in to do exam malpractice or to cheat or to or to get involved in fraud, because you know who you are, you know where you're coming from, you know where you're going to, you have sense of values that guide you as a person, probably from your background, from your parents. They are this type of persons and you just want to emulate them. You just want to emulate their values. Their values have really kept you in life. It has kept you going. It has kept you grounded. And because every single time that you're put in situations where you have to act in a different way, you just remember, oh, this is who I am, this is where I'm coming from, my values expect me to act in this way, my values do not expect me to act in that way, and it just directs your step. So understand that a sense of identity will help you build a strong character, and I highly, highly recommend. Then the next one is integrity. Larry, you earlier mentioned this, and that's just right on track, because integrity is one of the components to build a strong character. And what is an integrity? Integrity is an alignment of values, thoughts, feelings, and actions. So you probably have values, you have thoughts, you have feelings, and then however you are acting, whatever thing you're doing, it has to be in sync, it has to align. And this builds integrity. Integrity is something that is even achieved over time. You don't just do A and then decide to do B later in the future. Your integrity aligns you, it sustains you, it keeps you on track. You understand that your values are somehow related to your thoughts and your feelings, and then at the end of the day, it's still related to your actions, and these actions have to be practice, it has to keep on going. Your integrity is sustaining you. And when these are aligned, a person becomes focused and his character is strengthened. So if you want to build strong character, align on these 4 things. Align on your values, align on your thoughts, align on your feelings, align on your actions, and this will build your integrity. This is going to help sustain a strong character for you, and it's just going to help you in life. Let's move on, Samuel. Hi, Samuel. Let's move to the next slide. Okay, so the next thing we're going to talk about, back. The next thing we're going to talk about is how character communicates. So, you have a strong character, you build a strong character, but what do they really communicate? What does character communicate? Yeah, because I mean, people are around you, people get signal, people are looking at you, people see you for who you are. Okay, you're this type of person. But for people to actually know these things about you, you understand that your character has to actually communicate for this to happen, right? Okay, let's move on. Let's find out. Thank you. So first off, character communicates consistency, okay? So I'm sure you think I had said something about consistency previously. So you have a character, you have a strong character, and your character is showing not just what you are, it's showing who you are, it's showing who you appear to be, and then it is the first key to greatness. These are like some things I brought out from the book. And what you do thunders so loud in your ears, I cannot hear what you say. Okay, this is by Waldo Emerson. So one way your character communicates is consistency. Yeah. If you come at me and you're telling me, oh, I will do this, I will do that, I will do this, I will do that, I am this, I am that, I am that, I am this. That's just you talking. That's just you saying things with your mouth. When I believe you, or when I decide to believe you, is actually when you decide to act in that aspect, when you decide to take action. Okay. So if you go from saying something A and then you actually do A, or if you go from saying B and you actually do B, that's consistency. Okay. Because if you're saying A and you don't do it, that's inconsistency. So for you to actually build a strong character, your character must communicate consistency. It has to be consistent. You're not doing A and then you're doing Z, or you're doing A and you're not doing. You understand? It has to be consistent. So the minute you say something about yourself, the minute you're talking, the minute you tell people who you are, people want to see if you are truly who you are by how you react, what you do, your actions, your inactions, everything. People are watching. And in order for you to actually build consistency, you must do things exactly as you have said you're going to do them. You must be or act in ways that you've said, okay, this is who I am. My name is Sophia, and I do not succumb to pressure. I do not succumb to society pressure where I have to practice, immoralities, or, engage in any form of physical assault. That's just me saying that, oh, I don't do this, I do that. What if the next day somebody finds me fighting with somebody on the street? Isn't that me just being inconsistent? I mean, I just said yesterday that I don't do any form of physical assault. I am always composed. I can control my anger. And then the next day, the person sees me fighting with somebody on the street. And then the person is like, what are you doing? That's inconsistent. I mean, you don't say you do something, or you will do something, or you don't say this is who you are. You are a recognized talented person. You have explored certain areas in your life. People see you with great talent, and then you have somehow managed to let people know that you are this type of person, of something you have. Okay, let's take one for an instance. I'm sure that in that scientific world of his, he probably would have made oaths as a scientist that, okay, I abide by this rule. I promise. You know how doctors take this, what did they call that oath again that doctors take? And then doctors are like, is it Hippocratic oath? Guides their actions as doctors. Oath now, not oath mean like oath. I've forgotten the name of that oath that doctors take. So you take this oath and you're like, I promise that I will protect I will keep the health concerns of my patients confidential. So what does this mean? This means that you don't let anybody know what's happening to your patient. Your patient is sick, your patient was diagnosed with this. It's not public information. I mean, you have made an oath to protect the identity of your patient and to protect the identity of their sickness or what's not. And then all of a sudden, that same patient, because that patient is popular, yeah, you decide to let everybody know that this patient is suffering from this. You've broken your oath. You've been very inconsistent with your word because you have promised to be confidential. You have promised to protect the identity and the health diagnosis of your patient, and somehow you've gone against your oath and you've let the whole world know. That's inconsistent. So for you to build strong character, and even as your professional field, you have to communicate consistency with your character. So that's it. Let's move on, Samuel. Thank you. Character communicates choices. So this is actually very important. Character is the sum total of all our everyday choices. Our character creates our choices, yet our choices create our character. To change your character, change your choices. So one of the things that we need to understand is every single thing you're doing in your life is a choice. Every single action you make in your life is a choice. If you decide that you are doing this today and you're not doing that tomorrow, if you decide that, oh, you want to go this path today and you're not going that path the next day, all these are choices. So we all live by choices. We all, live by certain actions in our life, and these are built by choices that we make for ourselves. So if you're the type of person that, okay, you made a choice probably very early in your life that you would always obey the rules. You would always obey the rules. And somehow, subsequently, people around you have seen that you've continued to obey the rules. You never go out of character. You always obey the rules. Do you understand? This is a choice. This is a choice you've made, and it communicates that you ride with your choices. You understand that your choices drive you as a person, and every single day you're waking up and you're deciding to make those choices for yourself, and this builds your character, okay? And this communicates the type of choices that you make as a person. If the type of choices that you make as a person are bad choices, which probably can harm your reputation or harm the reputation of an organization that you work with, these are choices. And you understand that people would understand that you made the wrong choice, and you're probably going to be sanctioned for that, or probably, booed for that. So every single day that you decide that, okay, you want to build a good character, you must understand that this communicates the type of choices that you make. People see the type of choices that you make every day by how you decide to react, what decisions you make for yourself. And all these are intrinsic values, because the choices comes from your innermost mind. It comes from it first starts off from inside. You decide, okay, this is what I want to do inside before you actually act, okay? So this is like the second aspect of it, communicates choices. Thank you. Let's move on, Samuel. Oh, this is 10:43 already. I didn't know I've gone so far. Okay, character communicates influence. So if respect and influence must be earned over time, they must be built and sustained by character. What does this mean? I meet somebody for the first time in the office. First thing I know about that person is, oh, this person is really smart. I like her. She communicates her thoughts so well. I like that. I think she smiles very often. I like that. But then along the line, I find out that this person is actually very humble. This person is very quick to help somebody when they call on the person. This person is very quick to guide you. This person is very patient with you. These are like other character values that I'm beginning to realize about this person. And somehow, one way or the other, I personally, as somebody who is saying these things, I decide, okay, it builds my respect for this person. It builds, my regard for this person. I look at this person and I'm like, oh my God, I really like her. I want to be like her. It creates a certain level. It communicates influence. You have an influence on people. You have an influence on the way people see you. So you have to understand that your character communicates a certain level of influence. You get to influence how people see you, what people think about you by how you decide to act. So I see this person. I'm like, okay, I respect you. Every single time you open your mouth, I want to listen. That's the influence you've had on me. That's the influence that you probably already have that hold on me already, because I see you for being an actually wonderful person. And I like that about you. Okay. So No matter how brilliant a man may be, he will never engender confidence in his subordinates and associates if he lacks simple honesty and moral courage. So this is like a phrase from the book where an army officer was who is like a head was talking about his subordinates. But then what we need to understand is how you decide to react. Whatever it is that you are, it builds influence, it communicates influence in the mind of others. So that's it. Next one, Samuel. Okay. Character communicates longevity. Character provides the opportunity for longevity in any career, any relationship, and any wide goal. So if you want to sustain your career, if you want to sustain your relationship or anything that you have in life, anything that you set your mind on, you have to understand that you have to be a strong character, because if you want it to last long, if you want it to last to stand the test of time, your character has to come in winning. It shouldn't come in innate, it's not coming in the middle, it's not coming in warm or hot, it's not coming in cold or warm or lukewarm, it should come in hot. Okay, the only thing that walks back from the tomb with the mourners and refuses to be buried is the character of a man. What a man is survives him, it can never be buried. So one thing you need to understand is that your character lives longer than you. We usually hear of Martin Luther King and how he helped the things that he did for the Black community. And we hear of Nelson Mandela, the things he did in South Africa while South Africa was trying to gain independence. We hear of so many people that have done something in the past. These people's names, even if they are dead, it still lives on. And I feel like the next generation is still going to hear of these people because of the things they've done. They did not just use their talents, they stood by great characters. There was nothing in the news that brought them down, nothing they did that was negative, no bad character, nothing stained their whites. I mean, if we're keeping it a buck, they lived life to the fullest and they put in their talents, help people, supported people, and still maintain good characters. And even going forward, history will hear of their name, generations to come will hear of their name. So their names, their character is living longer than them. Even if they have been dead for years, their character is going to live past them because they chose the right path. They chose good character. They had strong character and all that. So you need to understand that if you want to build a great character, your character actually communicates longevity. So if you want your character to stand the test of time, you have to build a strong character, because even if you go, like, you live this life tomorrow, people are going to remember you for who you are. I'm sure that there are some people that have, that are no longer in our lives, and if you just remember them and you're like, oh my God, I remember when this person did this for me. I remember when that person did that for me. I remember, how this person came through for me. You just remember how amazing their characters were in your life and how they, really shaped your life as a person. So that's it for this. Let's move on, Samuel. So talent plus character creates talent, a talent plus person. So if you bring talent together and you bring character, that gives us a talent plus person. So now, how do you become a talent plus person? First thing, don't give up. Don't give up. Don't give in to adversity. You are going to be tested. You are going to be tried. You're going to have difficult situations test you as a person in life. But in order to build a good character, you must understand that these difficult times are actually just there for you to understand that you need to maintain a good character. They build us as a person. So if you decide that, oh, I'm going through this, I probably just give up, I probably just give in, I probably just follow the wrong path. Do you understand? I am just tired. I am fed up. I'm confused. I don't know what to do. I think I'll just take the easiest way out. No, you have to understand that in order for you to become not just somebody, who is talented, but a talent plus person, you have to understand that you don't give in to your adversities, because these adversities are there to test us, to test our characters. So imagine something comes in and is testing you and you just decide to just give in and you just, let that, change things for you. So one thing you need to understand, in order to become a talent plus person, you must learn not to give up. You must learn not to give into adversities. Don't give into your problems. Don't give into your setbacks. Don't give into your hindrances or your barriers. Don't let somebody come in and change things for you because that person is making your life difficult, okay? Don't give into that. Don't give up. Next is do the right thing. Doing the right thing is a you thing. trust me, it's a you thing. It's not a us thing. It is you. You have to be the one to actually make that decision if you want to be a talent plus person. It's you making that decision to get up every single day and doing the right thing. You're making it. That's the choice you're making. That's the decision you're making. Doing the right thing will set you ahead. You're not just going to have a talent, you're also going to be a talent plus person. You're going to have the strong character, you have the talent, because you are choosing to do the right thing. Every single day that you wake up, you are deciding that I'm going this path because this path is what's going to lead me to the life that I want. So you just really need to understand that doing the right thing is going to help you in the long run, not just now, but you're going to see how that plays out in your future. So always choose to do the right thing. The last one is take control of your life. If you want to take control of your life, and this is not another person dictating what you should do as a person, because as we get older, we realize that our moms, our dads, they usually are not there anymore. Probably we get into a new city and we're somewhere else and nobody's telling you what to do. I mean, you're probably alone with probably like a few other friends. And at the end of the day, you need to understand that those people who have been there, who have set the background for you, who have set the stage for you, who has laid the foundation for you, you don't always get to have them forever. Okay. And what that means is you have to learn at one point to take control of your life, because you don't have that control. You're not getting that control from other people anymore, maybe family members or anything. You have to learn that you need to take control of your life in order for you to be a talent plus person, because as you get older, you get to make those decisions by yourself. So learn to always take control of your life. You are the anchor, you are the director, you are the leader, you are the president of your life. You get to make the choices. So understand that and, keep going as a talent plus person. Final slide. Thank you for listening. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for your time today. So this is the time where we go back to those questions that I earlier asked. So let's see who have been listening and who haven't been listening. I'm going to be calling randomly. I can't see who isn't. Okay, let me see if I can find out who is in the chat, because I want to call randomly, okay? First question, what type of character does the person need to protect his or her talent? Ibukun, I want you to answer this for me. What type of character does the person need to protect his or her talent? Ibukun here.
Be easily distracted and I mean, taking for example the Asian man, he lost focus. I mean, he had great talent, and then he went ahead to lie as well as embezzle funds. So yeah, I think focus is important. It makes you, within challenging situations, your focus still helps you overcome obstacles, setbacks, and the likes. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Timi. However, that's not the right answer. Okay, so all these questions have one answer. They have one definite answer. You can't give me another answer. Who can give me this answer? I want to know who I've been paying attention, because this is actually a very technical answer. It's who can give me this answer? I mean, I'm very sure I said this word like 1 million times when I was talking today.
Integrity.
No. No. Oh, somebody has answered it. Sydney. Strong character. That's the answer. Thank you, Timmy. Thank you, Sydney. So the answer is strong character. I mean, you're not just having just any type of character, because you could have a weak character. You could have any type of character, but if you have a strong character, that can only protect you. That can only protect your talent, because the greater your talent, the need for greater character. So the answer is a strong character. Second question, what did Wang Wusong do in 1999? Tui, is Tui here? I want you to answer this. Twee, is he here?
Yeah, I'm here. Good morning, everyone.
Hi, Twee. What's the answer?
Good morning. I think it cloned the cow.
Correct. That's nice. Correct. That's the correct answer. Thank you, Twee. So one cloned a dairy cow in 1999. That's the correct answer. Thank you. You've been listening. Third question. The process of an iceberg breaking out from a glacier is referred to as what? And don't go to your Google to go and find this answer. Who do I call? Is Augustina here? Augustina, are you here? I want you to answer this question.
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah, the process of an iceberg breaking out from a glacier is referred to as what? I said this in this call. I said it in this.
Sorry, I don't know it. Sure, I didn't get
Okay.
that part.
Please, if you don't write, I don't want you to write. Nobody is right. Oh, don't write the answer. Okay, somebody has already put it there. Timmy, thank you. The answer is referred to as calving. So that's the process of an iceberg breaking out from a glacier. So fourth question. Thank you, Augustina. Thank you, Timmy. Fourth question. What is the alignment of values, thoughts, feelings, and actions? What is that referred to as? Who am I calling? Is Obiora here? Obiora, answer this for me. What is the alignment of values, thoughts, feelings, and actions? If Obiora is not here, Taiwo, I want to hear you. Taiwo,
I'm here, but Taiwo can help. Thank you.
Okay, so that's how we build strong character.
What is the alignment of values, thoughts, feelings, and actions?
You have responded.
Who is answering this thing? Don't put it on the chat now. I want to hear what he's going to say. Taiwo, what did you say?
Well, I just saw the answer now, but I actually said that's how we build strong character. So when you align,
Taiwo, you're following my hand, please. I don't understand what you're saying. So the alignment of values, thoughts, feelings, and action is actually integrity. Thank you. I don't know who put that first. Ola, I think it was Ola that put that first. Thank you. That's the correct answer. Please don't put the answers on the chat. The people that I call, I want to hear them talk. I want to know if they've been listening. So that's why I'm calling them, and I want to hear them speak. Thank you. Next question. What does character communicate when a man's character refuses to die with him? Timilane, Fanny, I want to hear you. What does it Hey, Fanny, are you here?
Oh, I beg. Yes, influence.
What?
Influence.
No, you did not say that.
Sorry, don't be angry. I don't know this one.
Okay, Timmy, thank you. Who am I calling? Is Safia here?
I am.
Help me. Thank you.
Is it longevity?
Yes, you're right. Longevity. That's correct. Thank you, Sophia. Thank you. You've been listening. Last question. The combination of talent and character gives you what? Okay. Who am I asking? Ayotunde, is he here? Ayotunde Lawa. Who is this person now? Obiora, what is it? Okay. They've already asked. Okay, I still want somebody to answer this question. Like, I want to hear somebody say it. Please don't type it on the chat. I wanted Ayotunde. I don't know if he's here. I can't really say. If Ayotunde is not here, I want to hear from Afolabi Sodiq. The combination of talent and character gives you what? Oh, okay. Ayotunde said he can't speak. Afolabi Sodiq is here. Don't go and find the answer on the chat though. Okay, I don't think he's here. Okay, so the answer is a talent plus person. So a combination of talent and character gives you a talent plus person. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for your time today. This was really fun. And I hope you learned, one or two things from this section. Thank you for your time. Thank you for riding with me. Bye. Okay, I'll hand over to Samuel. Yeah, Samuel.
Thank you so much, Sophia.
Thank you, Michael.
I'm really inspired. Thank you so much. Thank you everyone for joining the session. Don't forget today's Friday, and obviously there's going to be Feel Good Friday. Let's all tune in. Let's all join, please. Thank you so much. Have a lovely day ahead.